Hello students, very good morning to all of you. Welcome to the video lecture series of effective technical communication. In this subject, we have started chapter number 2. The name of the chapter is technical writing. In this chapter, till now we have completed, first of all we studied about the technical writing, the 5 C's of technical writing. Then after we started technical report. Then we studied about the different formats of the technical report. Total 4 formats are there. Which are that 4 formats? First is pre-printed form, second is letter format, third is memorandum, and the fourth one is manuscript. In the last lecture we studied about the manuscript format in detail, and we also studied about the technical proposal. Okay. In this lecture, we are going to study about the technical description. Okay, the next is technical description. Now, what is the meaning of technical description? Technical description is a text that will describe the object or process in detail. Okay, what does it include? It includes physical aspects, then functioning. It also consists of the parts and definitions of the process, how the process is defined, how the process is working. Each and everything will be covered in the technical description. Okay, it can be a self-dependent document or a part of a technical report. For example, if you are writing a technical report and you have to give the explanation or description of any particular topic, right? For example, if you want to write the description of heat exchanger, then in technical report also it can be a sub part of it, right? So this is about technical description. Okay, what does it should include? What is the format of writing a technical description? If you are writing a theory of heat exchanger, then it is also known as the technical description. So what is the format of writing the technical description? Let us study one by one. First of all, we have to mention the introduction and main objective, the working principle, right? You have to write some history of that particular device or object or process, and you have to also write the main objective, that what is the main objective, what is the working principle behind that you have to mention, right? Second thing is defining and describing the parts. First of all, you have to divide the whole process or whole description into subtopics. You have to also list and define the different parts, and you have to also explain the working of each and every part. So it is very much important to divide the whole contents into topics and subtopics. Third one is diagrams, graphs or tables. See, if you will use these type of diagrams, if you will use diagrams, graphs and tables in description, then it will look attractive. It will clear the concepts of the reader. Okay, so make sure that you are providing the diagram that is fully labeled. Each and everything of the diagram should be labeled. Okay, for example, any heat exchanger is there, then you have to mention that this part is known as this. Okay, you have to name each and every part. Okay, and draw tables as well as graphs wherever necessary. The fourth one is working. Okay, the fourth one is working. You have to explain each and every part. You have to explain the working of each and every part in detail, and make sure that you are explaining the whole process instead of just writing the things in short. Better is you have to explain each and everything in detail. The whole process is to be explained in detail, right? Okay, after that you have to write the advantages. Now whenever you are writing advantages, you have to focus on cost. Okay, you have to focus on ease of operation, how that particular process is easy, then is it available or not, then you have to also take care about the energy consumption. So these are the some aspects that we have to keep in mind while writing the advantages. And the last one is disadvantages. See, it is not like that each and every process, each and every object has only advantages. It also consists of some disadvantages. You have to write the disadvantages in such a way that there you have to show some remedies, you have to show some solutions to overcome the disadvantages, right? So in this way, any technical description can be written by using all these aspects, by using all these elements of the format. First is introduction, then describe the parts, then diagram wherever necessary, then working, advantages, disadvantages. Fine. Okay. As you can see on your screen, we have shown the technical description of gasketed plate heat exchanger. Okay. In this you can see the range is written, then we have also written the range of use, then what are the uses, description, advantages. See, it is not compulsory that you have to use all the elements. You can use any of the elements. So technical description can be given in different forms, but the standard format is that we have explained earlier, right? So this was about technical description. I hope it is clear to everyone. Okay students, let's move on to the next topic, that is business letters. See, in your academics as well as in your professional life, there will be requirement of writing different types of letters. So letter writing, to understand the format of letter writing, it is very much important, and these type of letters are known as business letter, where when you are writing these type of letters for professional purpose, for example, if you are working in any company as a purchase officer, then you have to write some business letters, you have to write the purchase letters, right? You have to write the purchase letters, you have to write the placement, order placement letters, right? So for these purposes, you need to learn how to write the business letters. Okay, first of all, let us study what is a business letter. Business letter is a written form of correspondence between organization and its customers. See, customers can be shareholders, then suppliers, any external or internal parties can also be there. So for most of the purposes, we have to write the business letters. For example, complaint letter, okay, acknowledgement letter, letter of recommendation. See, these all are some types of business letters. The purpose and the audience of different letters are different, so the way of writing a business letter is also different. Okay, let us study the main elements of a business letter. That what are the main elements, what we should write first, what we should write next, and what is the particular format of writing a business letter, that we will study in this slide. Okay. If you are writing the letter from your company, right, then first of all a pre-printed letterhead is there, in which the address, the name of the company, the address of the company, the logo of the company is already there. Okay, so on letterhead, if you are writing a business letter, then letterhead is already printed in, letterhead is already in the printed form, right? Then comes the date. After leaving one space, you have to write the date. See, instead of writing the date in date, month and year format, it is better to write the date in form of words. For example, you can write 28 September 2020 rather than writing 28/9/2020, because in some countries the format of writing the date is different. Like DD, in some countries MMDDYY format is followed, while in some countries DDMMYY format is followed. So to avoid the confusion, we have to write the date in a simple way. Okay. Then you have to write the inside address. Inside address means the recipient's address. By while you are writing the recipient address, you have to make sure that it is written in the left hand side margin. Okay, you have to mention the name. While you are mentioning the name, please mention the post as well. Okay, for example, Mr. Vyas is there, so you have to write Mr. Rashmin Vyas. Then you have to write manager, then you have to write name of the company, and so on, right? Then comes the salutation. Now, what is the meaning of salutation? After leaving one line, you have to write the salutation like dear sir, madam, dear customers. If you do not know the name, then dear Mr. Manager. You can also write dear Mr. If you know the name, then you can also mention name that dear Mr. Shah, right? So this is the example how we can write the salutations. Okay, then comes the main body. The main body consists of the main letter, main message that we want to convey. While we are writing the main body, make sure that you are writing the main body in different paragraphs. 2 to 3 or 3 to 4 line paragraph should be there. Okay. Then comes the complimentary close. Complimentary close means you are giving some compliments while closing the letter. Okay, right, yours sincerely, yours faithfully, yours truly. These are some of the complimentary clauses that are being used, or some will not write like this. Some will only write that sincerely, some will write regards, some will write warm regards. So these all are known as what? These all are known as complimentary clause. Then comes the signature. In signature you have to mention your name, your position, your company name, and you have to make a signature over there. Okay, let's move further. See, these all options are not much important. These all elements are not much important. For example, addressee notation. Now, what is the meaning of addressee notation? For example, if you are writing a letter for a particular person, then you can write confidential, you can write personal, that this letter is only confidential, personal to particular person. So any other person will not open that letter, right? Then some are also writing the attention line. Attention line is written 2 lines below the inside address. Okay. Then subject line, it helps the reader to quickly know what the letter is about, the contents of the letter. The main purpose of writing the letter is given in the subject line. It is not compulsory to write the subject line. Then comes the enclosures. Whenever you are attaching some reference documents, right, whenever you are attaching some reference documents, then you have to also show the enclosures. If you are attaching the purchase sheet, if you are attaching the balance sheet, then you have to mention enclosures, and then you have to give the numbers 1, 2 and 3. For example, one number is sales letter, okay, the balance sheet is there, the purchase sheet is there, so you can also mention the enclosures in that. Then copy notation. The names to whom you are sending a carbon copy of the same letter is to be mentioned here. Okay. For example, if you are writing a letter to any company, to a particular manager of a company, and you are also forwarding the same letter to some another employee of the same company, then you have to also write carbon copy to and the name of that person, right? And the last one is postscript. So what is postscript? Postscript is a one-liner that is written at the end of the letter. It is used to highlight the main points of the letter. The main purpose, if you want to highlight, right, if you want to highlight the main points, postscript is used. Okay, so this was about the elements of business letter. It is not compulsory to use all the elements. It depends upon the letter, which type of letter is there. Okay. See on the screen, you can see a business letter. First of all, you can see the address of the sender is there. Okay, then comes the date. After that, recipient's address is there. then comes the salutation. Okay, after that the main body of the letter, then comes the salutation, then signature block, and then enclosures. See, there are various types of different letters that we have to study in detail in the next lecture. Okay, till now we have to only remember what are the main elements of business letter. In next lecture we will see in how many different ways we can write the business letters. Okay, so this was about the business letters. We will study the different types of business letters in detail in the next lecture. Till then, have a good day. Bye bye.